My bad, everyone. A little late here. How y'all doing today? Get started. All right. Hey, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Thank y'all for coming out. Sorry I'm late today, but we'll make this quick. And then what I can do is I'll open up a panel after we get into the lesson. Make it short. All right. As we all know, the topic is God is not a genie. And I just want to get in that because how many of us know? I mean, we know several people that pretty much use God as a genie. Um, he's um, he's not a genie. He's God, and we're not supposed to use him as such. But so many people we use him as that, and and it doesn't really work out for you when you do that. Um, it doesn't work out at all when you do that. But what led me to this is that also a quote from my favorite villain in anime made me think about why we do such. And it's a quote from Sosuke Aizen, and he tells the protagonist, who's Ichigo Kurosaki, a very profound and deep statement. It makes me think about today's topic and title, and why many Christians treat their relationship with the Almighty like it's that of Aladdin and Genie. And this is pretty much what he says to him. This world was never about truth or lies. There are only hard facts. Despite that, everyone who exists in this world mistakenly believes that only facts that are favorable to them are truths. They know no other way to live, but for the powerless who make up most of the world, facts that act against them are the only truths. Do you know all the facts? Um, Hold on. Yeah, got an unwanted call there. All right. Um, so that it goes in to say, how many people do we know that what's good, new? What's good, everybody? How many people do we know that use God as a genie because of the simple fact that only the facts that are favorable to them are what they see as truth? But like he said, for the vast majority who make up the world that are powerless, the facts that act against them are the only truths. Um, so you got so many who people that the only truths they see are the ones that are favorable, and that's why they try to treat God, their relationship with the Almighty, as he's a genie, just asking for this, God, just send me this, just send me, I want this new car, this new ride, Lord, send me this man that is perfect in every way I want, and he's going to chase me endlessly. I mean, all these things don't exist, and it's going to go into why. I'm going to go into why here. That's a problem. All right, so we'll be starting here with James chapter 4, verses 1 through 4, and I'll be reading from the Amplified Version, and goes in to say, what leads to the unending quarrels and conflicts among you? Do they not come from your hedonistic, which is basically essentially self-indulgent? Do they not come from your hedonistic desires that wage war in your bodily members, fighting for control over you? Talking about, everyone just fighting for control against each other because of their hedonistic desires. You are jealous and covet what others have, and your lust goes unfulfilled, so you murder. You are envious and cannot obtain the object of your envy, so you fight in battle. You do not have because you do not ask it of God. You do not have because you do not receive it, because you ask it with wrong motives, out of selfishness with an unrighteous agenda, so that when you get what you want, you may spend it on your hedonistic desires. Um, I'll continue to 4. You adulterous, disloyal sinners, flirting with the world and breaking your vow to God, do you not know that being the world's friend, that is loving things of the world, is being God's enemy? So whoever chooses to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. So basically, what this scripture here is saying, that because of people in their own essentially self-indulgent desires, who are envious, who want objects or whatever it may be, that others have, out of envy, not because they actually want it or need it, but out of envy because somebody else has it. Because you want all of these motives out of selfish and unrighteous agenda, not because you want these things to help make things better for everyone else, but you want them because you selfishly want them for your own desires. Doing so because of your own selfish desires is actually breaking your vow to God. So when you're praying to him and you have these unrighteous desires, you're not going to get them. It's basically what it's saying here. Or even if he does allow you to get them, it ends up coming at a heavy cost to you. No, I did not get the magical sky genie from you. I've always thought of it in the sense, whenever you see, how many, church or religious, especially women, you see, just praying for God to send them a man. God gonna send them this. God send them that. So I got that idea because of how they treat this relationship. And that scripture right there is telling you why, they end up being worse for wear because of their own selfish desires. So basically, this scripture is to teach you, when we ask God for something, it should not be motivated by ego, pride, or greed. Instead, we should have the right motives in our prayers. Now, to continue going forward, I'll be reading, got 2 more scriptures here that I'll be reading from. The next one is James 4, chapter 4 again, verses 7 through 8. And starts off like this. So submit to the authority of God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come close to God with a contrite heart, and he will come close to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your unfaithful hearts, you double-minded people. So basically what it's saying here, by nature, we're selfish creatures. So this is to teach us that by drawing closer to God, he can and will change our natures and desires to be more aligned with his. Therefore, changing our purpose, helping us not to be selfish in our desires and our prayers. So whenever we actually pray and whenever we actually try to draw closer to him and the purpose he has for us, he'll change our natures. He'll change our desires to where they won't be so selfish and hurtful to everyone else and to the world. Yeah, thank you, Hal. Yeah, thank you, Nu. The likes are free. Appreciate that, brother. That's what that scripture there is to teach us. And then I'll finish it up here with one of my favorite scriptures here, with Matthew 6:24. And this is another one. The reason this scripture right here is going to explain, pretty much another reason why, to tie up everything. Matthew chapter 6:24 reads as this: no one can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, which all mammon means is money, possessions, fame, status, or whatever is of value more than God. And that is the reason why whenever you try and treat him like a genie, it will not work, because you're not valuing actually your relationship with him. You're not valuing that covenant with him. You're not valuing that purpose that he has for you. Treating God like a genie proves to him that you are truly selfish and not an ally of his. If you choose neutrality, you have chosen a side according to him, and that means you are not of him, and he treats those that are not of him like cancerous cells, and he cuts them off, which is simply why everybody, when people, they do that, they treat him like a genie, they end up, hurting themselves in the long run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up another one to open a panel. but I just want to have this one, to get everyone in here to like it, to break out the knowledge. And then what I can do later actually is have the discussion on to have the discussion, open up the panel for everyone. That way we can actually talk about it and have a good discussion if those want to come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one down, and then I'll open it back up, and we'll go from there. But I do want to thank you guys for coming out and listening, participating. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, if anyone chooses to support the channel or any other way, the Cash App is on the ticker at the bottom. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. New, you've been doing good work for me. I appreciate it. And Specialist, you're always in here too. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna add y'all both as moderators. I appreciate y'all. Never seen you in here, Deborah Israel, but thank you for coming in. But I'm gonna close it down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up another one right after it, to have an open panel on the topic. Let some men up here and we can talk about it. But thank you guys, and peace.